It's over. It's all over. Just because when I served tea to the royal consort, stepping left foot first got me hit with lèse majesté. And now I've been dumped in the south wing. This place doesn't even have a decent stove, and the roof leaks air. Winter is almost here. Am I supposed to just freeze to death in this dump?
Why cry? Sky falls, use it as a blanket. Hungry? Drink cold water. Since we're stuck here, might as well make the best of it.
Deposed consort Lou, heard you tripped and hit the royal carriage. That landed you in the junk palace. No silver brought along? Instead, you grab a whole sack of junk?
What do you know? I don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. every day to greet Her Majesty. No more backstabbing, no women's code. There isn't even a head stewardess here. This isn't a junk palace. This is clearly a paradise custom built just for me.
My lady, did the shock hit you too hard? Have you lost your mind? This is the south wing. We can't even get a sip of hot water here.
No hot water? You lack empirical physics.
My lady, look. This stove doesn't draw air at all. Firewood smokes thick, can't even boil water.
This stove is leaking air from all sides. And there isn't even a proper chimney or smoke vent. How is the hot air supposed to rise? Cabinet boy, stop crying. Dig clay from the corner, mix mud. Eunuch Quan, let me borrow that broken bamboo pole you don't want anymore. Today, I'm going to show you all what the stack effect is all about.
My lady, you're telling me that some mud and a broken bamboo pole can fix that broken stove that keeps spewing black smoke? There's no way I'm buying that.
Watch closely. Done. Cabinet boy, light it up.
Holy crap, the smoke is all being sucked out. And wait, how is the fire suddenly raging like that?
In material science, this is called the stack effect. Hot air rises through this pipe, while the hot air shoots upward. The pressure inside the stove drops, which violently pulls fresh cold air in through the bottom vent. Fresh air is packed with oxygen. The more oxygen you have, the harder the fire burns. Pressure difference builds the perfect chamber. But fire alone won't cut it. I'm still starving.
My lady, aren't these just wild sweet potatoes? You can dig up from any neglected corner of the Imperial Garden? These ugly, dirt-colored lumps? You can actually eat them?
Wait, we can eat those? Just watch. You'll be drooling in a second. Plenty for all. Taste the junk palaces. Very first afternoon tea.
My lady, this is incredible. It's 100 times better than the pastries from the Imperial kitchens.
With your head full of brilliant ideas, my lady. Our boring life in the South Wing is about to get one hell of a dramatic upgrade.
Stove's fixed. Bellies are full. But the water problem is still unsolved. Cabinet boy, let's call it a day. Tomorrow, we're building a water purifier.
My lady, normally we just let the water sit for a whole day. Skim the top after sediment drops. Then boil it. We had no choice. Who in the junk palace is going to bring us clean glacier spring water?
Letting it sit? That only removes the big chunks of sediment. The impurities and that nasty earthy taste. In the water? Completely untouched. Watch closely. Today, I'm teaching you what real multi-layer filtered charcoal.
My lady, are you stacking people in a barrel? Black gunk in, water dirtier.
Ignorance. Charcoal superheated. Its internal structure forms countless microscopic pores. In material science, we call this activated carbon. Its surface area is mind-blowing. Think of it as a super sponge. It grabs all the invisible gunk, odors, even toxins in the water, and locks them tight inside those pores.
Whoa, that's wild. Not a trace of that muddy smell left. And the water actually has this subtle, sweet aftertaste. This is even better than the Ministry of Households. Special supply of glacier spring water.
Obviously. This has been deep purified through activated carbon. Premium, straight-up drinking water standards.
Hey, isn't it the Empress Dowager's Imperial Feline? What's it doing? Over here, at the Junk Palace, looking for water?
Probably because it's been sweltering these past few days. Those stagnant ponds in the Imperial Garden have gone sour and reek. Animals smell sharper, it caught scent of our activated carbon purified water from way across the palace. That's why it hopped the wall.
Great. Now the South Wing has one more mouth to feed.
Oh no, Ministry of Household. They're here. Eunuch Wong from Logistics brought a whole crew. They're definitely here to bust our chops.
Well, life in the South Wing looks pretty damn cozy. Deposed rejects should be wallowing in misery. Who gave you permission to be this comfortable? Eunuch Quan, South Wing is abandoned storage. Monthly firewood allocation is only 30 caddies. But I've double-checked the ledgers. Last month, you took 10 extra caddies. That's a serious violation. Eunuch Wang, see for yourself. Winter's almost here, and the nights are brutal. Beg Ministry for scrap wood. Please, show some mercy. Just this once. Are Ministry regulations something you just this once? Confiscate their entire firewood supply for this month. And that's not all, every stick of wood in this yard. Haul it all away. Let that be a lesson.
Eunuch Wong, you took all our firewood. We can't even boil water. How are we supposed to survive?
Not my problem. You're in the Junk Palace. Act like it.
It's just a few sticks of firewood. Let them haul it away. Did you really think taking the wood would stop me from boiling water?
My lady, isn't this a defective mirror made by the ancient craftsmen? A flawed concave mirror they tossed in the scrap heap ages ago? What are you doing with it?
What kind of hocus pocus is this? Don't tell me. You're going to boil water with sunlight?
Parabolic solar concentration, ignorance is terrifying. The curvature of this copper mirror happens to form a perfect parabola, parallel sunlight rays. Reflect all beams and heat. With pinpoint precision, focusing it all onto one extremely concentrated spot. That spot is called the focal point. And this kettle? It's positioned exactly on that focal point. The black surface absorbs maximum heat. With this kind of amplified solar energy, no firewood needed.
Absolute nonsense. This is pure lunacy. No matches? No stove? Boiling cold water out of thin air. What is this? Witchcraft. Eunuch Wong, look, the water's boiling. You came all this way to haul firewood. Must be exhausting. Have some hot tea. Wet your whistle. Cheap tricks and wicked lies. We'll see about that.
My lady, you're incredible. Now we never have to. Take crap from Eunuch Wong again.
Solar cookers are great, but once night falls or it gets cloudy, you're screwed. If we want to whip up a proper feast whenever we feel like it, we need an upgrade. Let's hunt treasure in the backyard.
My lady, this yard has nothing but dust and cobwebs. What kind of treasure could possibly be here?
In the eyes of a material scientist, there's no such thing as junk. Just mechanical parts that haven't found their right place yet. Oh my god. This is literally a gift from the heavens. Cabinet boy, Eunuch One, get these cartwheels and that loom pedal torn off for me. And bring them into the kitchen.
What the hell is this thing?
This is a foot-powered centrifugal blower. Inside this sealed scroll casing, when the bladed rotor spins at high speed, it violently slings the air in the middle, outward to the edges. That's called centrifugal force. The air that gets flung out has nowhere to go, except charging straight through this main pipe, blasting into our furnace at insane speed and pressure. Come on, cabinet boy. Hop on and give it a few kicks.
Insane. This wind power is. It's 100 times more ferocious than dozens of eunuchs fanning in unison at the imperial kitchens.
With fire hitting 1,000 degrees in seconds. Why still boiled cabbage? Today, we feast on meat.
The cumin and chili my lady borrowed from the Imperial Pharmacy. Plus Eunuch Kwan's hoarded pork belly. A perfect match.
Pump it. Crank up the firepower.
What's that smell? Let's hop the wall. See what's cooking in there.
Who goes there?
Don't swing. We're just the night patrol guards from nearby. Old Juan and Old Zhao. We just couldn't resist that aroma. Our stomachs dragged us here. We beg a bite. Fate brought us together. Too many rules here. Sit down and eat with us.
Unbelievable. How is this meat so smoky and fragrant?
Cumin with pork fat. Flavor explosion. High heat locks smoke into the meat. This is a proprietary recipe.
No silver. Take this jade for the meal.
Jade won't buy a bun here. If you liked. Next patrol, bring some fresh pork belly and garlic to trade.
We're doomed. No soap at all. This grease is everywhere. Water alone won't get it out. If clothes stink when inspectors come, our pay's getting docked again.
Water can't wash away oil because water and oil don't mix. But in this world, there's a miraculous chemical reaction. It can make them blend together perfectly. Tomorrow, we're making our first handmade cold process soap.
Using plant ash to wash clothes? My lady, are you trying to make our clothes even dirtier?
This isn't just any ash. This is the high-alkali raw material from our heavy industry lab here in the Junk Palace. The main component of plant ash is potassium carbonate. When we dissolve it in warm water, and then let it settle and filter, we get a jar of extremely pure, highly alkaline lye water. This stuff is the absolute core of stain removal. The grease is all prepped. Now, get ready for the magic. This is the moment you've been waiting for. In chemistry, this is called saponification. Mixing fats with alkali. Bonds break, structures change. Alkaline transforms fatty acids into a miraculous substance that loves water just as much as it loves oil, sodium fatty acid salt, or as we common folk call it, soap.
Unreal. Oil and water actually fused together, and it turned into this creamy white goo.
Air dry and cool spot, 2 days. Once the alkalinity fully neutralizes, this bar of soap will be officially complete. Come on, let's test its power at the well.
It's coming off. It's actually coming off. And after washing, there's not a trace of grease left. Instead, it gives off this insanely fresh, grassy botanical fragrance. The fabric feels softer and silkier than before.
This stuff is absolutely divine. The soap bar is the ministry of household doles out to all the consorts. Leave your hands dry and cracked after every wash. My lady, this thing you made out of ash and lard works insanely well.
Of course it does. During the cold process reaction, handmade soap naturally produces ultra-moisturizing glycerin. Skincare's Rolls-Royce. Ministry? Crude, mass-produced junk ever compete?
The weather's cooling off, but this raw meat won't keep for long. If we don't cure it right away, it's gonna reek by morning. But this junk palace doesn't even have a single spare grain of salt. What the hell are we supposed to do?
No salt? Then we're going full physical isolation. Cabinet boy, go check the backyard. See if there's an abandoned cellar from the previous dynasty. Or maybe an entrance to an old ice house.
Eunuch Juan, Miss Lou, come take a look. There really is a wooden plank here that can be lifted.
My lady, this old cellar from the previous dynasty has no ice stored. But because it's very deep underground, the temperature is a solid 10 degrees lower than the surface. It's basically a natural, temperature-controlled fridge.
Perfect. Lower temperatures slow down meat spoilage. But that alone isn't enough. The bacteria in the air will still rot the meat. Got it. Eunuch Juan, we're not doing barbecue today. We're making a Western masterpiece that preserves food for ages. Confit meat. Basic biology, food spoils and rots. Mostly from contact with the air, because of the ever-present aerobic bacteria and mold. As long as we can block the meat's contact with the air, we can wrap it in an impenetrable anti-spoilage armor. Watch closely. Activating physical isolation protocol. This thick layer of solidified fat is like an absolutely sealed fortress wall. It locks all the air and bacteria out completely. And the meat at the bottom, wrapped in an oxygen-free fat environment, won't spoil. Instead, the fat slowly seeps in, making it tender and delicious. Eunuch Juan, go store this in the cellar.
A brilliant method. This way, even if we don't get meat rations for months, we can still eat meat in this junk palace anytime. My lady, this physics has won me over.
We got food, we got drinks, and we've turned this junk palace into a damn paradise. It's the notoriously strict official Chui. The rule-obsessed nightmare. Why is she here?
By order, South Wing staff have been slacking. Discipline's lax. I'm stationed here now. You will strictly adhere to the palace code of conduct. I'm here to re-establish order in this place.
Lay down the rules? Be my guest. As long as your rules can override the laws of nature.
Let me repeat myself. Rules are rules. You rise at tiger hour to clean, prep meals by rabbit hour. Until all chores are complete, no laughing, no horseplay. And no tinkering with useless contraptions.
Eunuch Juan. I heard this official Chui used to work at the Ministry of Household. She accused Eunuch Wang of embezzlement during an audit. That's why he demoted her here.
She's been nursing a grudge ever since. She wants to use us to prove she can enforce rules and get back to HQ.
This illegal clay stove lacks Royal Institute approval. It poses an extreme safety hazard. Tear it down immediately. And these unidentified pasty substances? Confiscate them all. And this stray cat? No loitering. Get it out.
Official Chui, you rushed all the way here at the crack of dawn. Your throat must be screaming by now. How about a bowl of hot soy milk to soothe those vocal cords first?
Official Chui, I couldn't help but notice your voice is powerful. Your tone's tense. Circulation seems stagnant. And look at your hands. All the rules in the ministry. These can't shield your skin from early winter cracks. This isn't some unidentified mystery paste. This is handmade cold-processed soap rich in natural glycerin. Wash your hands at the well with warm water. Try it. Feel what a proper lipid barrier and moisture lock really means. After that, we can talk about demolishing the stove. No rush, right?
Preposterous. I am here to enforce discipline. And you dare try to bribe me with these common street goods?
My stomach's roaring, can't even act tough. Officer Chui, South Wing Rule 1, eat before work. If you hate this stove, then that pot's not fit for you. Dumping it now.
Hold it. I'm merely doing this too. Checking South Wing meals for the record. This is a one-time exception.
First rule of running a physics sandbox. Step 1, assimilate their stomachs.
Think one meal wins me? Starting now, I fix your days. And stomping out every last bad habit. From you bunch of idle slackers. Permanently. Everyone up. It's already the hour of the tiger. All South Wing staff, wash up, form up in the yard. For instruction. This high-pitched sound breaks in new Unix. Today, I'm going to personally establish some ground rules. What, are you all dead asleep or something? Lou, open this door right now. Ignoring protocol only adds to your offenses.
Official Chue. At the crack of dawn, you're out in the yard banging a gong. Like a warm-up? I was mid-dream.
You mean to tell me you didn't hear the gong? What kind of unholy contraption is this?
Allow me to introduce my secret noise-canceling miracle. They're called beeswax earplugs. Unit Quan scrounged up some discarded beeswax, and I mixed it with soft cotton fibers. Heated and kneaded it into shape. Beeswax is a miraculous substance. At body temperature, it becomes incredibly pliable. It molds perfectly to every curve of your ear canal, creating an absolute physical seal. This wax blocks all sound. It also absorbs and dampens high-frequency sound waves. Forget your pathetic little gong, even a thunderstorm couldn't wake me. I'd sleep like a baby. And adding on top, this blackout eye mask I made. Mind tricks, noise cancel plus light block. That's what I call a premium deep sleep package.
You people are beyond redemption. My authority will not be trampled upon. Fine. If I can't wake you up while you're sleeping, then no peace while you're awake. Unheard of. Ministry servants must. They must maintain a perfectly upright posture. Respect masters. These, all cozy, are treating the junk palace like their own private backyard. Finally done. I'm wiped. Without chairs, let's see how. You slack off tomorrow. As long as your bodies feel utterly sore and miserable, you'll have no choice but to bow to my rules.
Where are chairs? Where's my beloved little stool?
South Wing requires standing self-reflection from today. To punish your laziness, all chairs and stools have been locked in the woodshed by me. Without my permission, no one may sit down. You'll finish your chores standing. These are mystery household rules. Absolutely no exceptions.
Official Chue. Are you trying to kill us? We've got dozens of pounds of edamame to shell today. Standing all day, our calves are going to cramp up like crazy.
That's your problem. Rules are rules. Get to work. I'll be back in 1 hour. I can't wait to see you all shaking like leaves.
Unicorn, the fire's already at our feet. This she-official Chue is running us into the ground. Why are you heading to the ruins over there?
No wooden stools? These musty old records from the previous dynasty are made of premium traditional cotton hemp paper. If we stack them up and bind them tight with hemp rope, the micro-cushioning and spring-back effect beats a hard wooden plank any day. Come on, cabinet boy. Go find some thick hemp rope. Today, this old servant will teach you how to turn this waste paper into the comfiest sofa in this junk palace.
Found my demotion notice in old papers last night. They mock me? I'll whip these loafers into shape. The Ministry of Household will have to see my dedication.
Wow, Unicorn, that old ledger you dug up, this is way too comfortable to sit on. Seriously, compared to those rock-hard wooden benches we used to have, this thing is 1,000 times better. It's so soft. Nothing digs into you at all.
Oh, you have no idea. Those worthless ledgers from the previous dynasty? They're made from premium ancient processed cotton linen paper. Stack them 2 feet high, bind them tight with hemp rope. It gives amazing cushioning when you sit. The micro air pockets between the pages compress, molding perfectly to your body shape. Tell me that doesn't beat a stiff wooden chair for comfort.
Right? And the outside of these ledgers is wrapped in thick brocade covers. Combined with the paper itself, blocks ground cold, even autumn feels warm. I even added 2 extra books where my back rests. They hit the lumbar curve perfectly. Honestly, it's genius.
Insolence. This is absolutely outrageous. You lawless bunch of savages. Official ledgers from the prior dynasty, though outdated. They are still documents registered by the Ministry of Household. Using them as stools? Shame on you.
Don't blame us, official Chui. What we sit on is nothing but a pile of scrap paper. No rule says we can't sit on scrap paper while cooking.
You. That's nothing but specious nonsense. Oh, so you 3 just love exploiting loopholes, huh? Then today, I'll give you a real crash course in black and white. From this moment on, you 3. Drop every single task you're doing. Each of you will copy this palace code of conduct 10,000 times. Finish before sunset, or no dinner. All the rice and flour jars in the south wing will be sealed by me personally.
10,000? This manual's huge. Our wrists would break first. A tenth of it before sunset. Are you trying to kill us?
That's your problem. Mock rules face consequences.
We're doomed. We're really going to starve tonight.
Relax. Food comes first above all else. I'm going to check on those 2 baby cabbages in the backyard and catch some sun while I'm at it.
My lady, why are you grabbing all this junk? There's no time for kite making right now.
Who said anything about a kite? Since Sir Chui loves order and neatness so much, let's teach her a little lesson. With my new invention, forget 10,000 times. Even 100,000 times, we'll still be eating a hot dinner before sunset. Cabinet boy, hold this steady. Don't let your hand shake. Done.
My lady, you went through all that trouble just to make a brush that looks like a slab of ribs?
This is called a quad barrel brush. Sir Chui, sentenced us to copy the rules 10,000 times, right? Normally, one brush writes one character at a time. But now, with a single stroke, these 4 brushes write 4 identical characters simultaneously. We just slashed the workload by more than half.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Ma'am, you're a freaking genius. With this gadget, forget 10,000 lines, even 100,000. We knock out before sundown.
Time's nearly up. How many lines have you copied? I told you from the start, the south wing has rules.
Official Chui. Perfect timing, as always. 10,000 manual lines, every single one, right here. We just ran a little short on proper paper, so the last 1,000 or so I wrote on scrap paper the Ministry of Household tossed out. So maybe, handle with care when you flip through?
Turning punishment into a cheat? Well played. Since you're all clearly so full of energy and so insanely productive, I guess you won't be needing any tea to stay refreshed, then. This tea's a luxury. Confiscated. Starting tomorrow, no tea in the south wing. Anyone who violates this order gets a double penalty.
Our afternoon tea is gone, but that stash was from Unicorn. He saved up forever for those leaves.
No tea? How will we survive this endless afternoon?
Chill. If Official Chui wants to babysit the tea canister, she can do us a solid and clear out some cabinet space. Out of tea leaves, so what? You think that means we got nothing else to work with?
Eunuch, don't tell me you want us to brew garlic leaves and call it tea. That smell would clear the entire palace.
What kind of cult ritual are these 4 clowns performing now? What nonsense are you 4 up to now? Are today's tasks all finished?
Ugh.
Ignoring me? You've got to be kidding me. What? All I did was snap off a single garlic leaf. What's with the theatrics? Worst case, I'll march over to the Ministry of Household and bring you back a pot of daffodils.
Official Chui, have some soup. I know it's seasoned with garlic shoots. But as long as you're content, we'd happily eat nothing but chaff. Am I seriously that out of line?
That wasn't just a garlic clove. In a junk palace with no tea and no chairs. That was their one source of emotional support. Did I just single-handedly strangle the last scrap of joy in their lives? Enough. I've had it up to here. Is official Chui running to the Ministry of Household for backup?
Did we lay the sad puppy eyes routine on a little too thick? Just you wait.
The moment a crack forms in someone's conscience, all those so-called rules lose their grip. That pathetic garlic was an accident.
I picked these up just now outside the palace gate. Consider it compensation for your garlic shoots. And don't you ever look at me like that again. The iron-faced, high and mighty female official.
Pay for half the garlic herself. To buy such tacky silk flowers as an apology? Good heavens, the mesh fabric on these silk flowers.
It's incredibly fine and uniform. With a premium filter like this, that broken teapot might finally prove its worth. You impossible woman.
I bought flowers to apologize, you tore them? Oh, official Chui, you've done us a massive favor.
Buying these silk flowers was a stroke of genius. You have no idea. After you confiscated our good tea leaves. Cabinet boy can only dig through the storehouse floor. For ancient tea that's nothing but dust and splinters. Brew that stuff and every sip comes with a mouthful of grit. But look at the material on these flowers. It's the most ordinary stiff mesh, with wonderfully fine pores. And it holds up to boiling water. A few small adjustments, and it becomes the perfect tea strainer. Isn't this a perfect tea strainer?
Brilliant. Genius. Zero residue. Official Chui, these flowers you bought are way more useful than buying our own tea leaves.
Official Chui, excellent purchase. Broken mirrors can be mended. Wilted flowers filter tea. Mending every bond. There's always warmth. Have tea to calm down.
The silk flowers I bought actually helped them. Enjoy residue-free tea. A dignified Ministry of Household official like me has become the sponsor of the Junk Palace Afternoon Tea Club.
Beautiful weather today. After tea, let's get our bodies moving. Cabinet boy, bring out our gear.
Coming. Here we go, one for each. Take your positions.
What is this?
It's called wellness sweeping aerobics. Unit Quan says. Bending over to sweep all day wrecks your lumbar spine. We slow down the sweeping motion and sync it with breathing. Cleans the floors while stretching every muscle. Better than a professional massage.
Form 1. White crane spreads its wings to sweep fallen leaves. Form 2. Wild horse parts its mane to dust the surface.
No rigid rules here, just the aroma of tea and the whisper of brooms. If life at the South Wing could stay like this forever, maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
Unbelievable. Have you all lost your minds? Stewardess Chui, the Ministry of Household sent you to whip the South Wing into shape. Not only have you failed to establish any discipline, you're actually out here with these junk palace rejects, prancing around like lunatics. What exactly is this? Broom dancing? You've utterly disgraced the Ministry of Household. Perfect timing, you idle lot. Mid-autumn's here. Household ministry short. South Wing, 3 days. To produce 500 mooncakes. One short. You all get sent to the worst laundry. Washing 1,000 chamber pot covers a day.
500 mooncakes in 3 days. Never mind that the South Wing only has 4 people. The real problem is the kitchen doesn't even have a single decent mooncake mold. Hand carve 500 identical patterns.
We don't have molds. This hardwood is prime carving material.
I'm telling you all right now, 500 mooncakes in 3 days. Finish it, or you'll all scrub chamber pots.
Oh no, the laundry department is a frozen wasteland of misery. There's only 4 of us. Even if we skipped eating and sleeping, and rubbed our wrists raw until they smoked, we still couldn't handshape 500 mooncakes in 3 days. The ministry's obsessed with protocol. Every pattern must match perfectly. No mold exists. What are we supposed to do? Poke a few holes with our fingers, and call that a design?
This is all my fault. If I hadn't crossed him, he wouldn't be using this as an excuse to punish everyone. Fine. I'll go to the Ministry of Household alone. I'll take full responsibility before the chief steward myself.
Official Chui, stop talking like an outsider. We've all eaten from the same pot here in the South Wing. There's no way we're letting one person take the fall alone. It's just 500 mooncakes, for crying out loud. We've got plenty of. We've got flour and nuts. Worst case, extra firewood.
But without molds, how do we stamp patterns?
Who said we don't have something ready-made?
My lady, this is hardly the time. Why are you pulling out a beat-up old wooden fish? Are we supposed to sit here knocking, praying Wong gets diarrhea?
Ugh. Idiots. Take a closer look inside this wooden fish. The depth and size of this groove, it's practically custom-made for a full-size mooncake. All we have to do is stuff the dough inside, press down hard, and the lotus pattern on the bottom will stamp cleanly onto the dough. Then flip it over, give it a little tap. And boom, a perfectly formed mooncake base, with an exquisite lotus pattern. Done.
Brilliant. Ironwood's dense, dough won't stick. It's a naturally perfect mold.
Ha ha ha. Mold problem solved. But this wooden fish isn't exactly lightweight. Holding, stuffing, flipping, tapping every time. 500 repetitions? We're still not fast enough. 3 days is cutting it way too close.
Oh, that's no problem at all. If manual labor is too slow, then let's make it move on its own. Cabinet boy, go take the wheels off that pushcart. Unit Quan, rip out the foot pedal from that old broken loom over there. Chui, find burlap and sew the ends shut. Listen up. First rule of the South Wing. The automatic mooncake assembly line is officially in operation. Cabinet boy, you take the pedal seat. Pump it up and down like you're working a loom. Unit Quan, you're at the front. Place the wrapped dough balls onto the burlap. The dough rides the belt to the middle. Official Chui. All you do is grip the handle on that wooden stamp. Line it up with the dough and press down hard. When you let go, the bamboo spring snaps the stamp right back up. The stamped mooncakes keep rolling down to me. I handle plating and loading the oven. Alright, let's move.
Beat it. Keep it coming. Who knew breaking all the rules and working as a team could feel this damn good?
Huh. At this rate, we'll be done by sunrise. Let's see Eunuch Wong try to nitpick this.
Whoa, cabinet boy. Slow down. I can't plate them fast enough over here.
Ah, incoming mooncake at 12 o'clock.
I had a feeling I should drop by for a surprise inspection. Oh. Sweet mother of mercy. What kind of sorcery is this?
Trajectory mechanics? That's your limited view. The belt speed from that cart conveyor, plus the upward curve of the ramp at the end, gives each dough ball a perfectly stable launch velocity. As long as the food boxes are positioned at the right distance, every single dough ball follows a fixed arc right into its slot. That's what we call smart physics. Autoboxing, baby.
You said it. Eunuch Wong, if you'd shown up 30 seconds later, all 500 mooncakes would already be boxed up for you. Just head to the ministry and clock out.
Crooked shortcut. Tribute mooncakes are a craftsman's soul and honest ingredients. You think mooncakes stamped out by these lazy tricks will taste any good? They're probably hard enough to crack your teeth. Heavenly. Never tasted this. This is unbelievably good. No. I cannot lose my composure in front of these people. Disgusting. Tastes like wax. The filling reeks of mold. You dare serve this vulgar slop to the Ministry of Household? This is an outrage. All 500 mooncakes are rejected.
Eunuch Wang, don't you dare slander us. I hand-picked fine walnuts. And Eunuch Quan painstakingly simmered the syrup. Groundless grudge. Way outline.
How dare you? Guards! Seize Lady Shui and these insolent troublemakers. Escort them to the laundry department immediately. They'll scrub 1,000 chamber pot covers every single day. Fresh goat milk. South Wing. Extra cream skin this month. Bring your bowls out for milk. First come, first served.
Oh no, if we're late, the cream skin will be gone.
Don't push. Don't shove. Hold your bowl steady. Fine. Fine. You bunch of hopeless, useless degenerates. Since you're beyond saving. Tomorrow I shall report to the chief steward and request that the most process-obsessed official in the ministry, stewardly, shape you up.
Oh, Eunuch. This time Eunuch Wang is really calling in reinforcements. I've heard of this chief stewardly. He's an extremely rigid man. A ruthless stickler drowning in red tape and formalities.
Wait, this is Eunuch Wang's jade thumb ring. He must have dropped it. This jade is incredibly hard. And the inner surface is polished to an amazing smoothness. Xiaoguizi, the wheels on our conveyor belt. Wooden axles slip when hot. What about the jade ring? And fit it over the wooden axle as a sleeve bearing? Then our conveyor belt will run. Smoother than silk. Guaranteed.
Oh my god. Taking the head eunuch's priceless jade ring. And using it as a bearing for a pushcart wheel? When that new supervisor, Eunuchly, drops in and sees this. It's going to be an absolute shit show.
Xiaoguizi, get that jammed wooden axle off the cart. Now. My lady, this is Eunuch Wang's treasure.
Using it as a washer for a cart wool. Isn't that a little too extra? This jade is jadeite. Extremely hard.
Wood won't mark it. Eunuch Wang tried for years. That inner surface has been polished to a mirror finish by his thumb, sleeving it over the wooden axle. It's literally the perfect wear-resistant ring. Official Chui is spot on. In mechanical engineering.
This is called a sleeve bearing. Raw wood rubbing against raw wood. Not only wastes energy, it smokes and slips. Now, with this slick jade in the middle, add 1 drop of premium sesame oil. Alright, Xiaoguizi. Put your foot on it. Let's test it. This is unreal. I'm stepping on the pedal.
And it feels like I'm stepping on clouds. Zero effort. Feels like walking on clouds. Effortless.
Cheers.
Oh no, it's the ultimate backup Eunuch Wang called in. Household Director Lee, famed for top procedures. Meticulous management style.
These slackers beat the applied science line. Without a proper approval process that meets our standards. It's outright treason.
Ah, Director Lee, what an honor. We've completed the mid-autumn mooncakes right on schedule. What guidance do you have for us?
Lady Chui, Eunuch Wang claimed you've accomplished nothing here. Even fraternizing with common riffraff. I didn't believe it at first. But now I see it's pure chaos. What do you call this? Cowboy nonsense. How much flour for these mooncakes? Who weighed it? Who logged it? Is there a record of kneading times? This gravity-defying stamping technique. Has it gone through ministry taste testing and verification? Without these standardized procedures, no matter how fast you work, it's all just scrap. Director Lee, the ingredient ratios of these mooncakes were personally supervised by me. The flavor is absolutely impeccable. Would you care to try one first? Take it away. No seal, no consume. Wait, that shimmering green washer on your pushcart axle, isn't that Eunuch Wang's? Imperial Green Jade Thumb Ring? Fools! Destroying royal treasures is unforgivable. I'm seizing stores and reporting you all.
Oh my god, the bead spacing on this abacus is absolutely perfect. And solid copper beads, nice weight, perfectly smooth surface. Xiaoguizi, quick. That hard dough we just needed. The one for the 1,000-layer puff pastry. It's too tough to roll out evenly no matter what we try. If we just take that abacus from the official, and roll it hard over the dough a few times, we can use these evenly distributed metal beads as an embossing roller, instantly breaking the gluten in the hard dough and pressing out a perfect pastry grid.
Consort, is this really going to work?
Why wouldn't it? This is the perfect tool. The abacus beads are identical in size, with flawless spacing. When they roll, they instantly create a precision pressure grid. The polished metal doesn't stick to the dough at all.
You people are absolutely ridiculous. Since you've shown zero respect for protocol, I shall personally establish some order right now. Starting today, the South Wing will implement a 6-step approval system. Every scoop of flour, every drop of sesame oil. Even backyard scallions need a written request. Nothing usable till I sign the ledger. I'm going to record every one of your offenses and these new rules, one by one, in this lambskin ledger. Oh snap! Xiaoguizi, check this out. Weren't we just racking our brains, trying to find the right way to press tofu? Stuart Lee's ledger is a literal godsend. What do you mean, press tofu? Stuart Lee, lend me that ledger for just half an hour. This thickness and weight will provide the perfect downward pressure. The best part is that outer layer. The cured lambskin is so dense, moisture can't penetrate at all. It's essentially a naturally perfect waterproof pressure plate.
Flawless.
Outrageous. Outrageous. Guards! Someone! Bring the ceiling strips! I'm shutting down this insolent kitchen pantry for good. They won't touch a single grain of rice.
Oh no. If the kitchen really gets slapped with that seal of absolute prohibition, we're literally going to be dining on air tonight.
Ha! No more kitchen? Let's see what other tricks you can pull off. Seal every crack in the doors and windows.
Hold on.
Oh, now you're scared? Too late. Once this seal goes up, not even the gods can save you.
Who's scared? Just worried you're missing the spot. And wasting perfectly good material. Oh my god, cabinet boy, Unit Quan, get over here and check this out. This paste is absolutely immaculate. It stretches into foot-long strands, and this paper is so thick. No light gets through. Winter's near. And these busted kitchen windows leak air like a sieve. Yesterday I stressed over paper to seal them. Manager Lee, you're a godsend, delivering top tier. Windproof insulation right to our doorstep.
Her ladyship's got a point. These strips are long and wide. Perfect for covering that 2-finger crack along the window frame. Hey, sir, you're applying crooked. A little nudge to the left. Half an inch. Yep, right there. The biggest draft leak in the whole wooden frame. Put some muscle into smoothing it out. Don't leave any air bubbles. Otherwise the winter chill will sneak right through.
Up top! Up top! That beam above the window. There's a gap between it and the brick too. Use this warm damp cloth. And press it over the paper. The heat will activate the paste. So it soaks deep into the wood grain and bonds rock solid.
And under this threshold, freezing air's been creeping in for years. This thick paper saves my old knees. White paper, red seal, gray frames, look at that. It practically has a festive Lunar New Year couplet vibe going on.
Ah. This is amazing. The draft protection is unreal. Manager Lee, your material's top-notch. Thank from all of us in the South Wing. I humbly thank you for your thoughtfulness.
Unbelievable. Utterly out of line. Someone get the guards. Round up these lunatics. Who dare defy the Ministry of Household and tie them all up?
Her Majesty the Empress Dowager, top palace authority. The real boss behind the curtain. How on earth did she end up? In the most chaotic moment being dragged by a cat all the way. To the most remote corner of the South Wing?
And may Her Majesty the Empress Dowager be well. Long live Her Majesty the Empress Dowager. Long live, long live. These reckless fools dare to misappropriate gifts. She values protocol above all. Today she must punish them to restore order in the palace. Your Majesty, see the truth. The South Wing is reckless. They actually repurposed imperial treasures for their own use, ignoring seizure order. I only meant to enforce discipline, but they obstructed me at every turn. I beg Your Majesty to reinstate proper order among these people and uphold royal dignity.
My little imperial feline here is usually the pickiest eater. Kitchens raised silverfish and rich hen broth for it, and it wouldn't even glance at them. But these past few days, every midnight it sneaks off to this most remote junk palace. I simply had to see what kind of rare delicacy could tempt the most impossible appetite in this entire palace.
Please, Your Majesty. Those are crude scraps, not fit. Carve wheels. Even the flaky pastry layers were pressed using this old servant's abacus, banged together. If it upsets your stomach, this old servant could never atone, even with 10,000 deaths.
Silence.
Your Majesty, those big mooncakes do look impressive. Too heavy in sugar and oil. Late digestion would be troublesome. This old servant has a tray of freshly baked, sugar-free walnut millefeuille, made with the pastry dough rolled out by Chief Lee's abacus. Absolutely no cane sugar added.
How dare you? Her Majesty's teeth are loose, stomach delicate. One sweet bite causes reflux. Those gold-plated premium pastries are nothing but a burden to her. And you have the nerve to serve Her Majesty dry, rough peasant food? Li Fu Hai.
Your servant, Majesty. They abused the abacus. But they even took your sheepskin planner and used it to press tofu.
Enough. Your abacus did calculations and schemes, producing red tape. Better left here in the kitchen, where the pastry it rolls out comes out clean and honest. And it puts people's hearts at ease when they eat. From now on, this abacus stays in the South Wing. This intricate mechanism is saving so much manual labor. I find it utterly fascinating. If I were to attach my rosewood dragon head cane into that wooden groove beside the pedal, as an extended force-saving lever, could this conveyor belt turn even more effortlessly? I'd love to try stepping on it myself.
Empress Dowager, your vision is absolutely amazing. When Xiao Guizi was pedaling just now, although there is jade-bearing lubrication, after all, the force distance is short. If we take your long rosewood cane, strung with hemp rope tied firmly to the outside of the pedal extended out. That's it. In physics, we call this lengthening the effort arm. According to the principle of leverage, the longer the effort arm, the less force you need to press down. Now with this long cane, it doesn't even take the strength of a pinky finger to effortlessly spin the entire wheel.
Oh my, this paper stool is actually... The soft couch in the morning palace should be comfortable and fit on the back. Wow. It's spinning, and it takes no effort at all.
A golden abacus rolling the dough, jade bearings for friction. Now even the Queen Mother has come off the assembly line herself. My entire advanced management philosophy has been ground into dust.
This oven is way too small. We can't possibly bake fast enough. According to the speed behind the embryo is also set into the furnace, before the dough in front starts going sour.
If we need to steam or bake 100 mooncakes at once, with perfectly even heat distribution, the only way to do that is with one of those massive steam boilers the Westerners use.
A Western steam boiler? Miss Lou, we're in this junk palace. We find some fancy foreign contraption like that.
Who says we don't have one? Isn't there a huge hunk of junk sitting right there in that pile of scrap metal this whole time?
This is the tribute steam boiler. A Western steam boiler, a tribute gift. Because no one knew how to safely fire up this foreign contraption. Feared explosive, deemed scrap. And dumped it here in the junk palace.
Your Majesty the Empress Dowager, this is no pile of scrap metal. This is the perfect constant pressure, high temperature mega oven. Look, this boiler is a completely sealed metal chamber. As long as we add water into the bottom jacket layer, and build a roaring fire underneath, the water inside will rapidly boil and turn into steam. Since the steam has nowhere to escape, the pressure inside the chamber will skyrocket. Basic physics. The higher the pressure, the higher the boiling point of water. Heat exceeds boiling limits. And this space is big enough for us to load 200 mooncakes in one go. On top of that, the mooncakes come out with a crispy shell. Locks in moisture, soft and sweet.
The racket from this ugly hunk of iron violates palace tranquility rules. I'll restore lost rules before Her Majesty. Outrage! It dares act before the Empress to make such piercing noise, disturbing the royal presence. Any noise violating palace regulations must be sealed off. Your Majesty, I use the official seal. Completely silence this noise for you. Much quieter now, isn't it?
Oh, you rigid, brain-dead fool. You don't understand the most basic principles of physics. You sealed the safety vent of a pressure cooker shut. Get down, now. It's about to blow.
What explosion? Nonsense. This Ministry of Household mulberry paper seal could keep out even a fly. How is that even possible? Ah.
Look, the pressure's dropping off a cliff. Classic popcorn cannon pressure release.
Oh my god, it's raining mooncakes.
Incredible. Truly incredible. I've lived most of my life. Never tasted such divine texture. Crispy outside, cloud soft inside, the ultimate mooncake. This iron contraption paired with the ministry's sealing method is worth more than all the Imperial Kitchen's giant woks combined. Li Fu Hai.
Your servant is here.
Li Fu Hai, keep your rigid rulebook where it belongs, in the ministry's accounting ledgers. The mines in the South Wing, full of brilliance. Ministry's hands. Stay out of this place. They make their own rules here.
As you command. Assassin. Protect Her Majesty the Empress Dowager. Wasn't it an assassin bombing for the Dowager? What on earth is going on? Wait, the late night stall couple. Who sent garlic vinegar grilled skewers? The other night? We are totally screwed. His Majesty must have found out the royal guards have been sneaking into the junk palace for midnight snacks every night.
Your Majesty, sword drawn for a craving? These freshly fried clad mooncakes?
I confess. Tempted by cumin pork belly, crispy, juicy. Uniquan's grilling is legendary. I'll take the military caning. I beg for Your Majesty's mercy. Shut up. Zhao Miao, I said shut your mouth. But it's cumin spiced grilled meat. I've been secretly relishing the memory in my study for days. It's a health obsessed. If the Dowager finds out I climb walls, where would my imperial dignity go?
Oh. So His Majesty's sudden appetite. 3 rice bowls, secret recipe. From the South Wing, was it? And here I was wondering. Your Majesty, what's with the sword and the dramatic entrance in broad daylight? What assassin? If you're also craving these freshly fried cloud mooncakes, just say so.
Your son. I was actually just. I heard that top-tier pastries must be cut with the sharpest blade when they come out fresh, so crispy texture won't be destroyed. I happen to have this dragon spring sword with me to cut the mooncakes for you, Mother. Wow, His Majesty is brilliant.
His Majesty's physics knowledge is absolutely mind-blowing. Cloud mooncake with an ultra-delicate air layer. A regular cleaver is too thick and dull. One press would create compressive stress and collapse the flaky layers into a dense, mushy mess. Only that extraordinary blade in Your Majesty's hand, with its razor-thin edge, can apply the ultimate physical shear force to split it in half without damaging any microscopic structure. Beautiful swordsmanship. That cutting stress control was flawless.
Crust melts like frost, filling stays smooth and warm. What a cloud mooncake! Everyone in the South Wing, hear my decree. From now, this place is an official royal workshop. No one may interfere here under any pretext or rule. All palace resources and equipment are at your full disposal. Use whatever you want, even if you blow the roof off this place. I and the Empress Dowager will cover for you.
This roof is leaking air, and winter is right around the corner. Kitchen windows sealed, but the floors need heat. No matter how much charcoal we burn, we won't survive this cold.
Calling works for basic repairs? Not fun. Since His Majesty granted us full access to all equipment. Why don't we go big? There are already hollow pipelines underground, and that boiler has an endless supply of hot water. Cabinet Boy, Unit Quan. We'll build something no palace has ever seen. A 24-hour warm water floor heating system.
My lady, a whole house floor heating system? That does sound thrilling. But that western boiler is out in the courtyard. Our quarters sit higher, water flows downhill. We don't have those western water pumps. So how is the hot water from that boiler supposed to obediently flow all the way through the underground channels beneath our house?
See, that's where you're wrong. Water may flow downhill, but heat rises. Everyone, look here. This western boiler has two sides, top and bottom. There happen to be two pre-installed brass ports. We'll request bamboo pipes from household, connect the top outlet to the highest point of the underground channel beneath our house. Then we'll connect the outlet at the end of the channel, back to the bottom inlet of the boiler.
I get it now. Once the water heats up, the hot water becomes lighter and naturally flows upward along the top. Copper pipes run underground, radiating heat outward into the brick floor. Once the water cools, it gets heavier again.
Absolutely right. In fluid dynamics, that's the thermosiphon effect. As long as pipes stay sealed, no leaks, no air, then nature's own thermodynamics. Temperature gaps create a silent, self-powered pump.
Listen up, Royal Workshop. The South Wing is approved for renovation by decree. Go fetch the top-grade red copper piping from the warehouse. Plus the green waterproof foil used for the rail boats. And the western raw rubber clay. Load it all onto my cart.
With royal backing, she swept away our best materials. And I couldn't say a word against it.
In this little physics sandbox, my airtight, zero-tolerance management philosophy has finally found its ultimate purpose. Engineering inspection. Cabinet Boy, this rubber sealant on your joint. It's not applied evenly. Rules are rules. One slip and the whole thing caves like an anthill. Once pressurized, this will leak for sure. Wipe it off and redo it.
Yes.
It must be perfectly even flawless, like nature made it.
Listen. Something's happening.
Oh my God, the floor is actually getting warm. This is pure bliss. Who said this is a junk palace? This is basically a heated suite at the hot spring resort.
So cozy.
Mission complete. Full coverage hydronic heating. Radiant floor heating with water circulation.
I used to think those cold, rigid rules were armor that protected me. But now I finally get it. Inside this sandbox full of creativity and everyday warmth, making everyone comfortable is the most beautiful rule of all.
Oh! I nearly forgot this floor heating. It nourishes the very earth beneath us. Right now, the temperature in this room is exactly like a perfect early spring day in March.
Unit Quan, Cabinet Boy. Want fresh greens in winter? Or even sunset red tomatoes hanging heavy on the vine? Since this room is temperature controlled, all we need to do is rip off that wreck of a roof. Use the clearest mica glass. We can turn this junk palace into a panoramic skylight. Vertical, climate-controlled greenhouse. Tier roof, add glass. Grow veggies and snow. Brilliant. That's the greenhouse effect. These glass panels are incredible. They let the sun's shortwave radiation pass through completely unobstructed, warming the floor until it's toasty. Then the floor radiates long-wave heat back outward, but the glass panels trap it firmly inside the room. Once heat builds up indoors, this layer of glass acts like a transparent, heavyweight comforter, smothering that long-wave thermal radiation and locking it inside. Plus our underground heating. This room is now a perfect early spring day in March.
Unit Quan. Lady Lu. Help! Your Majesty, what rare plant is this?
It's a tree from Western boys. Red feather tomato. They say the fruit is sweet, tangy, and juicy. Great for the appetite.
I was hoping they'd bear fruit in winter. But with this brutal cold snap, the royal gardeners have tried everything. Yet the seedlings keep shriveling up. So I figured, if anyone can turn trash into treasure, it's you at South Wing. So I brought them here for treatment. You don't say. The gardeners were so worried about the cold, they moved them into an airtight warming chamber and surrounded them with 8 blazing silver charcoal braziers, roasting them 12 hours straight. They just kept wilting.
You call that keeping plants warm? You're basically smoking jerky in there. Plants are like people. They need fresh air to breathe. But most importantly, they need sunlight for photosynthesis. You lock them in a pitch-black hot box, surrounded by carbon monoxide from burning charcoal. No sunlight. No air. These seedlings are lucky they weren't smoked into chips.
They only knew fire warms people. How could they understand photosynthesis and respiration?
Quick, cabinet boy, move these pots into our glass greenhouse and clean them up. Use warm water to wipe every bit of charcoal dust off the leaves. Open up those stomata. The ground temperature is just right to warm the roots, and the sunlight overhead will kickstart photosynthesis in the leaves.
Incredible. Absolute wizardry.
Even the Imperial gardeners couldn't crack this one. And here at the South Wing, it's back from the dead. Looks like my tomatoes actually stand a chance now.
Your Majesty, don't rejoice yet. Flowers bloom, yes. But I'm afraid we won't get a single tomato.
Why not? The flowers look fantastic. Shouldn't fruit just naturally follow?
In nature, for flowers to bear fruit, there's one crucial step: pollination. In spring and summer, bees and butterflies handle that job. But it's the dead of winter. Our greenhouse might be warm, but to keep heat in, we shut all doors and windows. No, a single breeze strong enough to move pollen.
So?
No pollination means no matter how gorgeous the blooms are, they'll just wither and fall in a couple of days. We won't get a single tomato out of them.
Where the hell am I supposed to find bees in the dead of winter? So all this was just a giant waste of time?
What bees do, why can't we do it ourselves? Once you understand empirical physics, anything can be substituted. Take this calligraphy brush. Why can't it be a bee? We'll carry out pollination ourselves.
Using a writing brush as a bee for the flowers.
Your Majesty, this is a brilliant substitution method. Bees pollinate because their bodies are covered in fine fuzz. But the rabbit fur on this brush is even softer and denser than bee fuzz. The perfect biomimetic tool. In material science, this is called triboelectric charging. In an extremely dry winter room, silk rubbing rabbit fur charges the tips. An extremely faint but invisible force pulls small bits. Static.
Pollinate flower 1 to flower 2. Spacing and pressure, perfectly precise.
The South Wing crew has turned advanced physics into the most rigorous farm labor imaginable. Done.
What a bumper harvest.
Rare fruit goes to the top imperial chef. Simmered slowly in a broth of bird's nest and shark fin.
Oh, Your Majesty, that would be an utter waste of a miracle. This is called thermal expansion peeling. This wonder fruit, packed with natural fruit acids, is best enjoyed in a steaming hot pot of rich broth. To bring out the tomato's flavor to its absolute peak, you must stir-fry it in high-heat oil to fully unleash its juices and that rich, glossy essence.
Your Majesty, try this lamb I carved myself.
Oh my, this sweet and sour flavor is just perfect. It completely neutralizes the gaminess of the lamb. And this acidity. Not only does it not feel greasy, it actually opened up my appetite, which has been completely dead for days.
Unit Quan, You took a pile of rusted scrap in the south wing and built the warmest house in the world, the most marvelous gadgets, and fine food. You warmed my coldest palace corner into the hottest blessed spot around. The new year is almost here, and after much thought, I've decided to grant you a tremendous favor. Tomorrow I shall issue a decree, the south wing and its backyard, renamed the Royal Institute of Applied Science, co-run by you four, and each of you shall receive a pardon charm. From now on, in the Forbidden City, you can walk with impunity.
Oh my god, that's an absolutely insane reward. Having your own territory and immunity in the entire Forbidden City. That is literally the ultimate dream of every working stiff.
Your Majesty, we deeply appreciate your kindness, but we cannot accept this honor.
Your Majesty, we want no titles or charms. All we ask is that you grant us that long-abandoned open-air, white jade reservoir next door. We want to use the excess hot water from the big boiler to build an all-weather, constantly steaming, infinity hot spring resort.
Rejecting a royal reward? Turning down pardon charms? They just want a ruined pool for a hot spring. In this Forbidden City, who wouldn't kill for absolute power over the Institute? My imperial dignity has once again been ruthlessly steamrolled by these infrastructure maniacs' wild ideas. Oh, Your Majesty, please hear this old servant out. Official hats in the Forbidden City are way too heavy. And those charms? They just mean a target on your back.
What we want here in the South Wing is nothing but total freedom. For the coziest life. Once it's a government office, this place gets buried in red tape. It's no longer the Empress's casual sandbox on the heated couch, or where you get to fight over frozen tofu. Here, we don't have to kiss anyone's ass. We don't scheme. We tinker daily, pressing dough with an abacus, using a jade thumb ring as a wheel axle. A hot meal in the belly beats everything else.
The old man speaks true. Your Majesty, if this magic place gets tangled in bureaucracy, it loses its spark. That turns rot into wonder. Just let them be.
Ha ha ha. Since my mother says so, then I shall grant their wish. Besides, I'm utterly defenseless against the temptation of this so-called infinity hot spring that Lady Lu described.
This pool is way too big. If we just dump hot water straight in this kind of brutal winter cold, heat dissipates fast, so we need to tap into indirect heat exchange and waste heat recovery. Copper conducts heat insanely well. Once we pump, spring water flows, pipes loop. Keep transferring heat to the entire pool non-stop. That way, we're not wasting the boiler's residual heat, and the hot spring water stays clean and hygienic.
Oh my god, this is unreal. The warm water on the surface mixed with
The icy snowflakes landing on my head creates
this insane sensory contrast. Soaking in a hot spring. Snow on me, Emperor's joy. For the first time in the Junk Palace of all places.
Now this is what living feels like.
Being in this little courtyard full of everyday warmth, using nothing but basic physics to make everyone around me comfortable. That just might be the greatest science in the world. Happy New Year. Here's to the South Wing staying warm forever.
Warm forever. Ha ha ha. Ha ha.